This tutorial is how to install and use iTunes 8. First, go to any Internet Explorer browser, go to www.itunes.com, and it will bring up the Apple homepage. It will give you a list of upcoming Apple products and information. You can scroll around on the website and take a look, but for iTunes, go to Downloads, and an iTunes 8 homepage will show up. Right under iTunes 8, look for the download button, click on that, and it will bring you to the download page. In your top left corner you will see subscribe to upcoming Apple products, etc., etc. I'm going to unsubscribe to them. In the email address box you can enter any email address, it doesn't really matter that much, and then just hit the download now button. And it will come up with two options, run or save. You want to click run and it will start saving it to your computer as well as execute it. And once you're done downloading that, with Vista it'll verify it and ask you to run it again, but on XP you should just be able to go. It'll bring up Windows Installer. When it comes up it'll say welcome to iTunes 8. Also it will give you an option for QuickTime later on in this installation. The first page, if you just scroll down, read through the terms and conditions, click accept and hit next. It will give you a couple options such as adding an iTunes and QuickTime shortcut to your desktop, setting iTunes as a default media player. Also I would recommend you set your path to C program files. Just makes things so much simpler. That's by default, so it will run the iTunes installation from there. A few minutes later your installation should finish and it will say congratulations. Just click on open iTunes when I finish this installation and go ahead and click on the finish button. And just give it a moment and it should bring up the terms and conditions for iTunes 8. You can read them, or in the bottom left corner there is a save button, so you can save these terms and conditions to your computer to read them later. Go ahead and click accept and it should bring up the welcome to iTunes window there. Go ahead and click next, and it's going to ask if you automatically want to search for media on your computer. If you do, just click both of those, make sure that both of those checkboxes are checked. Go ahead and click next. Go ahead and click yes, keep my iTunes folder organized. It just makes things so much easier if you change any information with your songs. And click on next. Next again. And it will bring you an option to open iTunes Store or go straight to your iTunes library. You want to go straight to your library. It will open up iTunes 8 and automatically start importing and converting those songs for you, as you can see up in the top in the taskbar. My songs are just finishing converting here, but if any time you want to stop any task that's going on, just click the top, or the X in the top right of the taskbar there. It'll finish up any task that it's doing, such as syncing your iPod. Over to your right you have your Genius sidebar. We'll get to that later. It's a bit more advanced. It'll be later on in this tutorial. Over to your left, if you look up at the top, it'll say iTunes or library. This includes all media that is on your computer at the moment, such as music, movies, TV shows, podcasts, and radio. Under that is your store, and also it will be purchases item there if you intend to purchase anything. Over there you have playlists such as Party Shuffle, Genius Sidebar, which we'll get at later, and also any other playlists. Those ones are ones that iTunes has created by default. You can change the view by zooming in and out on those album covers. You can go albums, artists, genres, or composers. In the top right there you can see three different views, such as the block view. It'll just list all your songs, or the block view with the adjustable cover art. You can scroll along those, or also click the full screen button, scroll with the bar or the direction pad on your keyboard. Just hit escape at any time to close that. I'll show you how to find your iTunes music folder. This is using Vista. You go to your user file and you will select Music, iTunes, and iTunes Music. And from there, that's where you'll paste all your downloaded or ripped music tracks or albums or anything like that. I'm just going to paste a couple of my own albums in there for now. On Vista, it is a bit different, or on XP, sorry, it is a bit different. The path will be C, Documents and Settings, All Users, or just the user you logged on as. And from there you go to My Documents, Music, or wherever your music folder may be located on that user. And from there you just go to your iTunes folder. Sorry about that, you can't see that too well in this video, I know. As you can see, in that album folder I have there's all my tracks, and they are in MP3 format. Format doesn't matter too much, just as long as they're not .flac, but you don't really have to worry about those unless you're downloading torrents. To import those songs into iTunes, go to File. You can either add a single file, as in one single track, to iTunes, or you can go File again and add a folder to Library, which, as I pasted a folder with my album in there, it'll import all the songs in that folder. Something you can do in the meantime while iTunes is importing your music is you can turn on that Genius sidebar and it will open iTunes Store. Go ahead and create an iTunes Store account if you don't already have one. I'm going to just log in on mine here. The instructions are really simple if you want to create a new account, and creating an account is free. So I'm just going to accept my terms and conditions here, and it's going to turn on Genius sidebar, start gathering informations about the songs I have in my library, as well as initialize it. While it's doing this, you can go back to your library, and well, it doesn't take long, it's already back. So go back to your library. It just takes a second for the Genius sidebar to turn on. Sometimes when you import music you may have downloaded into your iTunes library, you'll see the song may come up just as, for example, the _Navy _song, you know, Billy Talent _ and it's just a huge mess. You can fix this by right-clicking on the song and going to Get Info. Here you can change all the information about the song, including the artwork. Zoom it out, zoom it in. You can add your own lyrics, copy and paste them from a lyrics site, whatever you want to do. There's some other options you can go through, such as the rating. And the next two you don't really have to worry about too much. What we want to focus on is that second tab, which is the Info tab. Here you can change the name of the song, the artist, the album, genre, album artist, composers, comments, anything like that. So we're just going to go ahead and correct that here. You can also set the year and track number of the CD if you wish. You can use a preset genre or start typing your own. Once you do that, just go ahead and click OK or the enter button and it'll automatically change those settings for you. Also, a little tip, if you're going to be changing a whole album at once, hold the shift key and select song between song, and it'll automatically select all those songs. You can single out songs by holding down the control key and clicking on them, as I've done to those two ones that are in white, and then right clicking on it and get info.